that aired on the local news about how that play should have been called a penalty, so on and so forth. But like I said earlier, I think that play that they just ran should have been ran by Cam McCoy.
Can you run it again?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to see when he came out. So it was on Southern.
All right, there we go right there, Coach.
Like you said, he should have been outside.
Rocky.
Yeah.
So leading with the helmet, a player with the crown or any part of the helmet to attack the head or neck area. Or any part of the helmet.
You can watch all of
So you see it, Coach, he does a fake.
Right. I'm with
the
you.
games on Swag TV.
Now, it's blocked up, Coach? This guy right here, this wide receiver, he just needs to screen block and go outside, right?
Right.
TV. And this is a
But wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Let me make a statement, though. Well, see, Rocky, that what's fun that you're talking about this, and Coach, you're going to say this. This is what's called vision. That's why some running backs and some quarterbacks have and it's a term. It's a vision. So you're expecting this kid, while that sounds right, but there's a reason why they say running backs have vision. Quarterbacks have vision when they're running the ball.
I bet Cam McCoy would have ran outside.
Okay, you proved my point. Cam McCoy has running vision.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Right. Go ahead, Coach.
All right, go ahead.
great accomplishment from Dr. Charles McClellan
and
his staff and all the people involved, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the defensive guy. I don't think he was trying to, but when they hit helmet to helmet, that's spearing. That's spearing.
But the bottom line, thank God the young man wasn't hurt,
Absolutely. Like I said, I just wanted us to look at that. That was just and show off a little Swag TV, because you can go back and look at these games. All you film junkies can go back and look at the games. They're on demand. Shout out to Dr. McClellan and what he's done. What's the gentleman we made? Andrew Roberts. Andrew Roberts. They got a great platform for us that enjoy HBCU football. As you can see in this particular broadcast, they weren't able to get the time up till much later in the game, but shout out to everybody.
Yeah. I want to say that that's the Commissioner McCullough, man. That's fantastic. I mean, shit, man. Look, it made me good. I was able to get the game over in Mexico. I'm looking around. I hit the app. The app added the app to the TV. Shoot, I'm over in Mexico watching it. So I think it was big, man. Like you just said, shout out to the SWAC office. Shout out to the people who got that done. That's big, and hopefully, we get a lot of following behind that and push that, and make sure that you get a chance to keep up with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Campbell, the last game before we go through the slate of games, with a couple things. Last SWAC game I want to talk about is the FAMU game. If you want to, I kind of talked about it already, and then we could talk about the pro MEAC guys and how they fared the last week, and then we can go into next week's slate of games. And we have a special part of the show that everybody, there are many teams, there are several teams that really should be listening to that part of the show. So go ahead, Campbell. What do you want to say about your FAMU Rattlers?
Well, I'm going to go, and this is the thing about it. The defense, big improvement, huge improvement. Defensive backs, I heard they would like that. They like that. Defensive line, because I'll tell you, if I had to compare Howard to Mississippi Valley, right? Mississippi Valley ran up and down the field on us. Howard did not. So if I'm just going to use it as a level set, that's already improved. But here's the thing, and this is what I think was the most disappointing part, and where Coach, listen, man, everybody knows what it is. There ain't no secret. Got to win games to be a FAMU. So we can not play that game. It's a job online. Everybody's job online if you don't win, okay? So we move on from that. He has to win games. But I think what was most concerning was the fact that we did not see the continuity of offensive play calls to build a drive. So again, everywhere, are we going to be a running team? How you going to be a running team? You only have a 2.8 yards to carry. Are you going to be a passing team? How you going to be a passing team if you're not going to pass the ball? So again, you got to figure out what your identity is. And I think the thing, because we heard a lot about Jet Petty, and this goes back, R.J. Johnson had not played. He hadn't played since high school. Jet Petty actually played in junior college. But I think the reason why, I'm assuming, because nobody knows, Coach Cozy never went into why. He just felt he was the best person. But R.J. Johnson could run the ball. So why don't I see naked boots? Why don't I see fake tosses? Because I'll tell you this, when the game was lost to me, you get down and you run a pitch play and the guy gets down to the 1 and it's 4th down. To me, that's a play where you fake the pitch and then roll him out with a double route concept. And then he has an option to run. And we never saw those things that, again, that I'm going to say that T.C. Taylor does really well, Jacoby Morgan. So I'm just saying, hey, Coach Burris, go look at that play calling. That's some of the things. Coach, we copy all the stuff all the time, right, Coach? That might be something that you might want to incorporate for RJ if he's going to be the quarterback. So, again, 9 points, losing that game the way you did. The defense did everything they did. Coach, if I told you, I'm the defense coordinator, and I say, Coach, you're the offensive guy. I say, Coach, I guarantee my defense is only going to give up 10 points. What you going to tell me?
Oh, man, we're going to win.
We're going to win. And mind you, that last 3 points came at the end of the game, so I really only gave up 7. So what more can you do on the defensive side? So what I will say, compared to last year, where to me it's harder to fix a defense because when guys it's again about being nasty, thinking like that. I think the defense, I feel the solve. I think they got a better chance of fixing the offense because I did see talent as far as those wideouts. Those wideouts can go. But again, play calling, and is RJ enough to understand to get the team in position? Because I think with him, I don't know if he can be a game manager. I think or if he's going to be one, he's going to have to be a very high level. Because see, the thing about Rashawn McKay and Willie, who was a game manager, Willie called excellent plays for him. Excellent plays. And our defense was sound. So that's the thing about it.
All right. You got anything you want to add, Coach?
No, it would be unfair because I didn't actually get to see him play. 10-9 score. Sounds like they still struggling. It's struggling offensively, and it seems like they made some corrections on the defensive side of the ball. So, they got to get that going, But I'm going to go back and look at the game because I could pull it up on SWAC TV, right?
No, this game was on ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well,
yeah.
I'll get them next. I'll get them next this week and really sit down and see what the issue is. We know it seems like it's a carryover, Campbell, and unfortunately, that's not good for a Florida A&M fan. That we only scored 20 points last year, none in the second half, not necessarily none, but not a lot. And now we opener and only put up 9 points. So that don't look good for the Rattlers.
No, but I want to address one thing, and it looks like I saw somebody. So Coach Cozy had the call, and he talked about RJ is going to be his coach, his quarterback. I'm assuming that's the comment. So maybe he has a coach philosophy. But what I think is going to happen, and I think this FAU game is a perfect game where you can say we're going to play everybody. Because those games, FBS, more likely than not, you won't win that game. But that, to me, will give you an opportunity where you can get Petty in, see what you got with him. And if you want, I don't have a problem with you going with R.J. Johnson. What I want to see is what I thought Henry Bird's going to be, more imaginative and intuitive play calling, and also understand. And, man, listen, and I'm going to say this to my offensive linemen that are all SWAC. Hey, man, listen, y'all all SWAC. We can't be averaging 2 yards a carry, 2.8 yards a carry. Because I'll tell you this, Coach, one of the things that was interesting, but Coach Cozy talked about this, on the 4th down, we were at the 1.5 yard line, right? Now, coaching, I 100% kick the field goal. But if you kind of trust those offensive linemen and you know they're nasty, sometimes you say you go win the game. And that's the thing that I don't know if he had confidence in the offensive line to get, but I understand. I think it was the right call. But again, I don't even know if he thought about it. I feel like he said, you know what? We haven't run the ball right and things like that. So I'm just going to tell you, the FAU game is going to tell us a lot of what this team is about.
All right, Coach. everybody has an opinion about these games with these pro coaches, as you call them. Some people would call them celebrity coaches. Some people would call them inexperienced coaches. But first week of the season, we have to call them what they are, which is losing coaches. And I'll sit back and let Coach Cole give his soliloquy of what he thought about the games.
Yeah, watching Delaware State in Delaware and scoring 17 points, I'm impressed with that. I was impressed with the way the team looked. I was impressed with how they dressed. I was impressed with some of the players that they had, some exciting players. You got a new young coach, don't have a lot of experience, got a perennial losing program. I think for the most part, I think they came out, they showed, I have to give him about a B, even though he lost the game. I don't expect him to come in there and turn Delaware State around without no coaching experience. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a long process if they don't get tired. But I think and gave him that I think he's on the right trajectory to turn this program around.
All right, Coach. Now, what did you think of the Norfolk game, Coach?
They were outmanned. I seen an undisciplined team. Dressing was horrible. They looked like some high school team out of the whatever they call themselves out there. I seen guys not get good fits, run up and attacking the ball and not attacking the ball with a shoulder, turning the play inside. I seen the offense that was just scrambling. Once they shut down their run game, I seen the quarterback, wasn't nothing, 1, 2, 3, here's this, he's coming here. I think they were all over the floor. I think that if Townsend was a more explosive offensive team, because they just killed the clock. They just kept running inside. I don't see Norfolk. I don't see the improvement. I think they even got worse to me. So that's kind of how I felt about it.
Coach, you and I watched them in person last year at the Swag MEAC Challenge. We were actually impressed with their talent, especially in the interior line. Wasn't surprising against FAMU. They were able to run the ball. I think they ran for 270 yards. This game, Coach, they weren't able to run for much at all. They ran it 31 times for 39 yards, Coach.
Right. And those passing yards, they wasn't precision. It was scramble here, throw one down here, throw one down here. I think they need to go back to the drawing board. I think they need to pull that team together. Like I said, I mean, they look like a bunch of kids that were just, straight out of a Title I school somewhere. Black sock, green sock up, sock down, 7 towels, jersey here, pants. It was,
Coach, in my opinion, I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach, but I watched this game, and I think they lost this game in one area, Coach. One area. I'm not going to even say they lost it because they couldn't run the ball. I think they lost it right here, Coach, and this is third down efficiency. They were 3 for 13.
Yeah.
How can you sustain a drive with that, Coach?
And you only rushed the ball for 39 yards. Let's get that straight. Look at the time of possession.
Yeah. The time of possession was pretty equal. It's just that they couldn't convert on third down, and they went for it on fourth down 3 times and were only able to convert 1. So, again, is this I would say this, Coach, about Norfolk. They have to be better on third down, and they have to be better in critical situations. They had some penalties. They were 9 for 78. That's not good as far as being penalized. That's, that leads to discipline. I'll say this. I thought they have a lot to work with in Norfolk, but I could tell this was a coach's first coaching experience. This is a guy that didn't coach. You know, Deshaun Jackson was offensive coordinator last year at a high school. This is a guy that's coming from Fox Television, on the sideline, managing the game, being the coach. And I think it showed against Townsend. But I hope that as he gets more experience, the team will have a better performance.
It just tells me that the small things in a program that need to be overlooked is not being overlooked. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Coach. Now I will say I didn't see this game against New Hampshire, and we got to look at it just because our friend of the show, Trey Oliver, came on and before the Southern game and talked with us. But I did want to talk about this because when I look at the box score, Coach, this can't be this box. There's something about this box score that's a little irregular, Coach, and I'll bring it out to you. Walker Harris was not very good statistically. He was 13 for 33 for 172 yards. They were able to run the ball 30 times for 103 yards. This is the thing that surprised me, is that Matt Vezza for New Hampshire passed the ball 17 times at 10 completions for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's awfully efficient, Coach. And then here's the thing that surprised me. New Hampshire ran it 39 times for 118 yards. They weren't very effective in the running game per run. However, it seems like they stuck with it and was able to, possibly milk away the clock. Let's look at the team stats and go down here and say.
Let's look at the turnover.
Okay. Turnover, they only had one turnover, one fumble. One turnover. Matter of fact, New Hampshire had 11 penalties.
Deal where they had about 10 minutes more than North Carolina Central. So then now you got to go up to your third down, and you'll see why the game was the way it was. Third down conversions. It's funny. They have the exact same third down conversion rate of Norfolk. Right.
3 of 13, Coach. And that kind of explains their inability to put points on the board.
Stayed on the field a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocky, they want to know what you think about Walker Harris.
Hey, they know what I think about Walker Harris. I'm not going to. So here's the deal, guys. I don't get no joy out of beating up these kids about their play, right? Walker Harris didn't have a great night, 13 to 33, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They lost the game. I think the results in and of itself dictate what Walker Harris is. In this game, they needed Walker to come through on third down, and he wasn't able to. Again, Walker Harris, in my opinion, is a trailer, not a truck. And when you're playing a tough team, I mean, he can be exposed. I watched him, Coach. You and I watched him. We laid eyes on him, Coach. He didn't look much different than he did against FAMU the first game of the season last year, Coach. He has limitations. And that's okay. If they're able to run the ball and their defense plays hard, they'll be just fine with Walker Harris. But don't expect him to go out and win your football game is what I'm saying.
Next.
All right. Let me see. I think this is the last one, and we'll look at the games next week. South Carolina. And we can look at both of them at the same time, Coach. What do you think about South Carolina edging out Wofford 16 to 15? And then Alabama State, a good Alabama State, South Alabama team, Morgan held in there pretty good, 21 to 38. What do you think about those two results, Coach?
Well, that's South Carolina State football. You know what I mean? They're going to grind. At the end of the game, if they win 1-0, 3-0, that's Chinnisberry football. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, whether they win by a lot or little, that's their style of play.
Coach, can you believe they ran 91 plays, Coach, and scored 16 points?
That's a lot of plays, Coach.
They had 50 passing plays and 41 running plays. Now the issue is they only ran the ball for 41 times for 111 yards. So they weren't raising no hell in the run game, but that didn't stop them from trying, did it? Yeah. So 91 plays, Coach. And then they only had to defend. They only had to defend 51 plays, Coach. Let's go look at the time of possession, because it's got to be, it's 34 minutes to 25 minutes, Coach. So we know the story of that game. They were able to control the football and eat up the clock, and they, they won going down the stretch. So, all right, look like Coach is buffering.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good, Coach.
Sound like they need to be working on their red zone offense. They
didn't have a lot of yards, Coach. They ran a lot of plays. They didn't have a lot of yards. Well, they passed the ball for 299, Coach. So that was using your favorite two quarterback system.
Now, hold on, Rocky. No, well, I want to point out here, Stubblefield was the kid from last year.
Yes.
So that's interesting. I didn't get a chance to see this game. I think this is
me neither.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see this game, but I was interested because I heard that they had missed a field goal. But when I'm looking, this goes back to my point. So I think we all agree, far as HBCU coaches, Chen's Bear coach period is one of the top tier coaches. So here you have a top tier coach that had a kid that was already in the system, and he still brought in another kid to see what he could do. So I don't know who started. Does anybody know who started in my South Carolina? I'm just curious who started that game. I would like to know who started that game and who finished it.
No, I don't know. And then we just look at the box score of Morgan. The box score of Morgan. Morgan, they played two quarterbacks as well. They passed for 59 yards. But Morgan, now I think this bodes well for Morgan. They were able to run the ball 40 times for 181 yards against a FCS school, a FBS school. Isn't that pretty good, Coach?
Mid-major. It's mid-major. Yeah, that's
pretty impressive to be able to run the ball for a home. That usually doesn't happen in those kind of matchups, Coach.
Right. It usually be a tough game, offensively and defensively. But
yeah. All right, Coach. We could go ahead and we'll look at week 2.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. Do not. If you do not, you better show that Tennessee State victory. Don't let that.
Oh, go. Okay. Let me look it up.
Yep, Coach. Give Coach Ball a first win. Let's get it. Let's talk about that real quick. I saw that game, and even though I'll give A&T Coach Gibbs, A&T is going to be improved. A&T is going to be improved. Saw the game, but you got to understand something. Coach Barlow getting in there late, bringing in coaches in there late. You got a big game. Not a lot of people, which still is heartbreaking, did not show up for the game. I thought this should have been a game should have 15 to 20,000 people just for it being A&T and them traveling to Nashville, which is a great city. But got to give him credit. 24-21 pulling that game out and getting that victory against A&T. So I got to say, shout out to Coach Barlow, and I think that bodes well for what they're going to do in the OVC. Like I said, again, get that very first victory, and I think they got Alabama A&M coming up next, or after North Dakota State.
Now, this is the interesting game. I looked at these stats. I don't know if you looked at them, Coach, but A&T outgained Tennessee, held them to 2 of 11 on third down. By the box score, you would think that A&T would have won the game until you get down to the turnovers. And A&T had 3, while Tennessee State had 1. And that kind of explains the outcome. And I know
in the time of possession a little bit. It was 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. They had the ball more than Tennessee State.
Yeah. We Coach, and we could kind of ask you, Coach, as a game when it looks like you're outplayed, but you got the benefit of you win the turnover battle. Is there a lot you take away from these games, or you just fortunate that you get the victory and get out of there and you try to improve on
Well, winning the football game is the most important. How you win it ain't important if you don't win it. And some days, when you go in there, your offense is not doing what it needs to do, and your offense, because there's always 3 phases of a game. There's offense, defense, and special team. You got to win at least 2 of those to be a winner of any football game. So as you can see, Tennessee State won, the game because defensively they was getting turnovers, and maybe on the special teams they was keeping field position.
Yeah. So, Coach, I just want you to look through these. These are the MEAC games, and then hey, Coach, week 2 looks like it's money week for a lot of teams. So we don't have a lot of compelling matchups, but I like to look at what's going on here. Albany and Delaware State. Is that a winnable game for Delaware State, Coach?
No, not Albany in New York. That's Albany in New York. No,
yes.
they got a good football program up there. I know guys been there for a long time, over 30 years.
Howard and Temple.
You play in the FCS school. They got more scholarships. Howard Burley snuck by. They got some things they need to work on. I don't think they beat Temple.
Okay, Old Dominion in North Carolina.
Old Dominion been struggling the last couple of years. They in that conference with Tennessee State. North Carolina Central need to bounce back. I'm going to bet on Trey Oliver.
Campbell, you sent me something that I wanted to post, and unfortunately I didn't say the graphic. But ODU got paid the 5th most of all schools playing a money game last week. They got paid $1.1 million. Coach Cole, how does a team work out, a FCS school work out a $1.1 million payday by traveling up to Michigan State?
Well, when they call, you got to compare you compare schedules, and then that's when the negotiation comes in. And if you play in those type of schools and you're going to take that, you need to be up in them numbers, because usually, it takes a lot. It takes about $100,000 to move 110 guys when you got to fly. Now
he's saying that ODU is an FBS school now.
Oh, are they? I know they were in basketball. I never knew they was in football. But they paying North Carolina Central $1 million?
No.
That's great to say.
No. ODU got paid $1 million to play Michigan State.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was saying, I hope Gramblin's getting $1 million to play Ohio State.
If they not, Tennessee State got $1 million last year from playing Ohio State.
Really?
Or was it Notre Dame? Which one was
Notre Dame.
It was Notre Dame. Yeah, they got $1 million. So I'm hoping Grambling should be getting $1 million. Anything short of $1 million, when you playing one of the blue bread programs in all of college football, you crazy if you ain't getting $1 million. Shit, it should be $1 million too.
All right. And then we got Norfolk and Virginia State. Now,
this is going to tell you something about Norfolk State, playing the Division II program and playing one of the best. Now, I got to say that. One of the best HBCU division programs. Coach Frazier up there. Look, this is going to be a good challenge for Norfolk State.
Okay.
Let me say this. This is one of those, if you're in that area, you know what this game is about. It's a big rivalry game in that area. Virginia State was 7-4 last year in that CIAA. They barely lost to Norfolk last year, 28-23, if I remember correctly. So you're talking about guys with a chip on their shoulder. I think the predictor was number 2 to CIAA this year. So I think, Norfolk better watch it.
Hey, Coach, and I hear Coach, with as successfully as Coach Parker is, I think Coach Parker's the guy over there, or is that Henry Frazier? Which one is that? That's Parker, right?
No, it's Frazier at Virginia State, right? And Virginia Union is Parker.
Okay. Virginia State has Frazier, who's a great coach, but I'm just telling you, this is the key, Coach. They have an AD that has won the Black College National Championship at FAMU. And at the end of the day, when she brings that kind of winning pedigree to that school, you expect championships and victory. And this will be a feather in her cap to get a victory against Norfolk. She already has one against Norfolk, I think she got last year. Right? But this is another victory she could get over Norfolk. And like I say, she's one hell of an AD, and I expect them to be very competitive in this game.
I'm going to say this. She wasn't in the gym shooting. Great. So they ain't got nothing to do with, just like she had nothing to do with Willow winning that championship. So like I say, bless her heart. I see she been out working out. She done lost slim down. I wish her well. But the coach was already there.
Be nice, Coach. Be nice.
I'm just saying. Coach was already there.
Well, again, guys, I'm being charged with blame being messy or whatever. The facts are the facts, guys. When the AD was at FAMU, this former AD at FAMU, they won national championships, Coach. She's a championship AD, isn't she, Coach?
Oh, yeah. She showed all her rings that all the coaches that she didn't hire won for her. You're right. She showed them all. All 5 of those rings that were conference championships or national championships, she showed all 5 of them from coaches that she did not hire. Absolutely.
Well, let's go. Let's go to the next one, Coach. We're going to get that later.
All right. So here we go. In the last last 2 of the week, we know what this is going to be, Coach. This is the ultimate money game. They don't even have to travel that far to get that butt whooping, do they, Coach?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And then we got Townsend against Norfolk State. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna bet this game, guys, because I'm gonna bet Morgan State to keep it close, Coach.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna bet Morgan State to keep it close.
Townsend gonna run the ball 40 times. It's gonna be a close game.
What do you think, Campbell?
It's gonna be a short game too.
Yeah, well, I saw Townsend, play against Norfolk. I didn't get a chance. I would have liked to see Morgan because, like I said, I hate to talk about somebody I didn't see, but now we're talking stats. So it looks like Morgan's ready to run the ball. I think it'll be closer than what Norfolk State did. I can guarantee you that. Okay. I really believe.
Okay. All right. And we got a guy said ODB said Morgan might win this one. All right. So now let's go over to the SWAC, Coach. Let's go to the SWAC. SWAC is getting some money too this week. So it's not a lot of compelling games, but they got a game that I'm definitely interested in. And if it wasn't for a little trip I was taking my wife on, we would probably be at that game for sure. But here it is, guys. We got a lot of people have talked about this first game, Jackson State and Southern Miss, with Jackson State having a chance to win. I don't think so. But I'll defer to you guys, and you guys tell me how it's going to turn out.
Well, I think it's going to be close. Southern Miss is a FBS school, and I think it's going to be close. But, you got to go with the FBS school, but it's going to be a close one. Mississippi Valley State, this is a good test for Valley to see where they are. If they lose to Tarleton State, you'll know it's the same old Valley. But looking good.
Tarleton State just beat Army, Coach.
Yeah, they are a top 5 team in FCS.
Yeah, it's tough. I've been down there before. Matter of fact, I went to see Valley play Tarleton State. Rio Grande Prairie View, man, great game after a big tough win against Texas Southern. He can get in there. They can correct the mistakes, and roll. And don't have to too much worry about injuries. Grambling, Ohio State, man, money game. It's a money game. Ohio State by a bunch.
No, but Coach, are these 2 blue blood brands that are battling? And I'm not talking about, I'm just talking about the brands. Grambling against Ohio State. I don't think it gets any better than that in college football. When you talk about the history and the legacy of Eddie Robinson against Ohio State, Woody Hayes, whatever. It's just
only thing that if you ain't a football guy through and through, then you wouldn't look at it like that. You know what I mean? those people up in Ohio State, up in Columbus, don't know a damn thing about Grambling. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. They just don't see it that way. But when you come down south, yeah, of course you know who Ohio State is, and of course you know who Grambling State is. So I wouldn't look at it that direction, as long as unless you were a football advocate. Tech Southern California, money game, coach. Money. My Tigers can start off 0-2. Florida A&M and Florida Atlanta, FUI. Woo, it's a tough game for Florida A&M coming off of just scoring 9 points, and then jumping off to an 0-2 start. When the last time they've been 0-2, Campbell?
Well, actually, just a couple of years ago, we lost to Jackson State and we lost to North Carolina, University of North Carolina, but then we ended up still winning 9 games.
And that was the time when that was when Simmons was having problems with the
compliance.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't have his troops. But through Cookman Miami money game, it's gonna be a Salaki. This gonna be a good game. This gonna see if Sam Shea really, really got it going on at A&M. He had a great showing last week, even though they didn't win, but they looked good. And Alcorn got to bounce back. They got to bounce back and see. Alabama Southern game of the week.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is what I'm talking about. Why games are important. You got a game. I'm assuming this game is a conference game because I think this is a conference game, is it not?
We have to check and see.
Somebody tell me in the chat, because if this is a conference game, this is a very important game for Alcorn. Way more than Alabama A&M, because I keep saying these cross-divisional games, when you lose those games, that gives you a half of a loss that you cannot. Oh, non-conference. Well, there you go. It's not. So I was about to say, because Alcorn, I was about to say they really want to make sure they win this game. So even with that said, I don't think. Well, with that being said, I'll go about pride. I don't think Coach Cedric Thomas wants to go 0-2 and be 0-2 against a new coach with Sam Shade.
Right.
But they got it at home. And I think I don't know what that Coach Shade or what that Coach E. Rob, I said, damn near all your games in Alabama, so you should be in good shape. So I think it's Alabama A&M. I wanted to point that out.
Well, the next one, Alabama State and Southern. I'll say it. Andrew Body. That's right. Andrew Body.
Yeah, I think this is I think this is the
game of the week.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for Andrew. This is okay, everybody. This is another coming out party for Andrew. Yeah, this is another coming out party for Andrew. This will solidify him as dominance in the SWAC, in my opinion, this year. Because I think there's a lot of people, for whatever reason, that either didn't see the game last week or don't want to believe the game, what he did was real last week. This is about Andrew Body. Terrence Graves got him another week. I think he can lose this game and people won't be on his butt too tough. But
wait a minute. Who can lose this game?
Terrence Graves.
No, sir. No, sir. And let me tell you the reason why. They lose this game, then they go to Fresno, and then they play Jackson State. That means they will be 1-4 with not an impressive game against Valley. This game right here goes back to the point. Non-conference, very important for the Southern Jaguars. Very important, because you do not want to go in there 1-4 when you're coming up there. Because like I said, you're going to lose to Fresno. Jackson State's coming down there, because I think that game, where's that game at? That game is Southern or Jackson? So no, this game is a must-win for Southern, absolutely, because the wheels can come off the rails real quick on this for this season if they start off 1-4.
I wouldn't have thought you would have said that, Campbell. That's interesting.
No, well, because I'm looking at what projects. Because if you lose this game, you're 1-4. Because you're not going to be favored in the next 2 games. Now, what Southern say is, and again, we'll hear, well, we haven't lost the SWAC game that counts yet. And we'll do something. 1-4 is 1-4. And I think that will show some things that this ain't the same Southern team that's going to be able to skate by.
Hey, Coach.
Wait, Emmett. Absolutely. And so, see, this is what, okay, and Emmett's my guy. Bruh, FAMU, I don't sugarcoat FAMU. So let me tell you something. Absolutely, FAMU's in the same predicament. That's why I told you guys these first games meant something. You watch the show every week. I told you this is why these first games meant something. Because if you lose that first game, it puts you in hole. So absolutely. So you look at FAMU with the same thing, not to get too far off on it. They lose the FAU, which was predicted. Now they play Albany State, and then they got Alabama State. Exactly. So I totally agree with you on that. No, so we don't run from that.
No, I wanted to clear up my deal. I thought that the game, the NCCU game, was a time for Southern to make a statement about being a championship level program this year. That's what I thought. Unfortunately, they didn't make that statement, right? Against Mississippi Valley, I thought if Terrence Graves lost that game, he would be able to definitely feel the heat. He won it. He didn't have to worry about that against an Alabama State team that he will not be favored. Even at home, they will not be favored in that game. Right? They'll be playing Andrew Body, and they won't be favored. And I think anybody who knows football expects them to lose that game. Right? My deal is, how can you expect Terrence Graves to win that game, win against Jackson State, considering how they've been playing? I don't think that's reality, Coach. Coach, you've been on the bluff. If they lose this game, will his seat start to get warm, even though he just won last week in Valley?
I think his seat is warm for this whole season to really see if he can have control of this football team and program. If he goes again 7-4, then they'll settle, I think, and settle down. But if he has a losing season, it's going to be some of them naysayers. I told you so. That's just how it happened. He got the job because of a money issue. Of course, he has the background. I'm not saying he don't have the talent, meaning that he ain't been in those places. He does come with a resume. But it was a battle about him getting in there. So, yeah, I think this is a very important game. Very important.
All right.
Plays.
All right.
North Carolina Central, man. Central Arkansas is going to be a runaway.
Absolutely. We're going to let the bishop get ready as we talk about what's going on. There are some teams that really had some issues last week. Didn't they, Coach?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I guess this is a new section in our show that we're trying to put together, if I can say.
Yes.
And as the bishop get ready, the real bishop, and he'll come back. But there was some things happened last week, man, that we thought would happen, and but that's college football. And, we're looking for another big week this week. We'll be all glued to the TV, SWAC TV. And, we look for some big things. We look for some upsets.
Yeah. And I think it was a great first week, Coach. I'm a little let down on the second week because, they playing these money games. It's not as many good games, but it'll crank back up here real soon. Oh, yeah. And again, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be a really interesting season as it begins to unfold. But at this time, me and you are gonna step down, Coach, and give an opportunity for the bishop to address the congregation.
Best in me when everyone else around me can only see the worst in me. Can I tell you one more time? I said he saw the best in me.
Feel the warmth, feel the praise. Feel the praise.
We'd like to call someone up to the altar. Can we call somebody up to the altar? Can we call someone up to the altar today?
I wish I had a witness today.
Can we call someone up to the altar?
Choir, thank you so much. You know, we are here. As you all know, I have many jobs. I've been a detective. I've taught at ITT, but my first claim was a man of the cloth, as you guys can see in the background. And as you know, see, I even got the black Pope. See, y'all didn't know the Pope was black. So one of the things as we talked to many of the coaches told us, they said, Brother Campbell, we want you all to pray for us during the season as success. So there are some people that we did pray for, and there are some people that we are going to pray for. So the first person that actually called up on the call line was those folks from down there at Prairie View. Can y'all believe that, down there at Prairie View? So the first prayer that was answered was for those Prairie View Panthers and Lionel for those T-shirts that he can wear for one more week. And Coach Jackson can sing Atlanta, 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 the city of purple and gold for another week. So they can stand in their delusions for one more time, thinking they're going to win the SWAC West and beat Jackson State. So that's the first prayer that was answered for those Prairie View Panthers. Because y'all know, if y'all had lost to Texas Southern, it would have been no praying that was going on. The next group of people that called us was the folks from the SWAC office. And the SWAC office said one prayer. Brother Campbell, can you please pray that this SWAC TV app does not go down and that it actually works? Now, you know what? We did say this prayer, and the app did not go down. But we are going to pray for them next week to actually improve the time and also update the scores, because we didn't know what the time of the score was for none of them games that we watched. This is the thing that we understand. So prayers were heard for the SWAC TV app. So y'all go download that SWAC TV app, because we were able to watch them game, especially that Prairie View game. Now, you know, the next thing that touched me, I was down in Miami, and there was actually prayers for a certain fan group. And that was for the 25 people that came from D.C. to Miami. That was Howard Bison, who actually saw their team beat Florida A&M, because they know that was a wing and a prayer that they got up out of there. So all 25 of those people, I bless you all. Congratulations on that victory. And now you can go on and start your season. So that prayer was answered. But we're going to be praying for FAMU shortly. And then last but not least, but this is a more important prayer. And this is a prayer that I think we all prayed for Andrew Bynum to come back happy and healthy. Our nephew came and showed out. And we prayed for him to have the success. He stuck with it. He believed in his team. And we just want to say from all the HBCU family that those prayers were answered. And we look forward to you completing the season and having a great season. But with that being said, Rocky, we have people that we need to pray for. So these are the people that we hope next week that their prayers are answered. The first prayer is for those fans from North Carolina A&T, because, Coach, they down there happy for more victories. They were happy that they were in the game. So we're praying for them, the Coach Gibbs, that they will actually win a game so there'll be no more victories. So we are praying for the A&T fans to get a victory and no more victories. That's the first thing. The next prayer is for the white fans from USM. Dear white fan from USM, if you see anybody that is in red, blue, and white that is black, please do not be a casualty of war down there. Because Jackson State might lose the game, but they damn sure not going to lose the fight. And anybody remember in 1987, that goddamn Go Negro got slammed. So I'm just telling you, white folks, leave them good black folks with Jackson alone. I'm just letting you know. They're going to come down there and mind their business. But if you start something, they're going to finish it. I'm just letting you know. So we're going to say that prayer for them white folks. We don't want no problem down there, Coach. That's right. Now, Coach, the next prayer is for your alma mater. Texas Southern University for another heartbreaking loss. Now, Coach, you know the prayer. Coach, do you know the prayer that we're going to pray for them? That prayer, Coach, is we're going to pray that the game only goes for 58 minutes and not 60 minutes. Because, no, if it go past 58, then y'all going to lose. So we're hoping for every game from here on out that Texas Southern can only play 58 minutes of football. They might go undefeated for the rest of the season. They might go undefeated. Because something about them last 2 minutes, Coach, y'all just can't get it done. So for 58 minutes of football, we're praying, that's all that Texas Southern got to pray. 58 minutes. The next prayer that we say, this is for G and those big bad Braves and Coach Cedric Thomas. Coach, we're praying for you because we know doggone well this next game is going to be very important. So for those big bad Braves, we're saying a prayer for you because we do not want to see Cedric Thomas lose his job. So we're praying for the Alcorn Braves to come and have a great game against our friend Sam Shade. And last but not least, and y'all know what I do. We are going to pray for those FAMU rallies and Coach Cozy. Because Coach Cozy got to go to that 220 club tomorrow. And he's going to get more coaching advice from folks that played for Jake Gaither, Rudy Hubbard, Willie Simmons, and some of the coaches' wives on that thing tomorrow. So, Coach, be prepared. Bring your holy water because there going to be some folks going to ask you a question. So we're going to pray for those FAMU rallies tomorrow. Because Coach Cozy is going to be getting a lot of questions tomorrow. Absolutely. So we just got to say those prayers. So for all of you all that need for your team to pray, please hit me up on Twitter. And we're going to pray for people every week because the power of prayer is very strong. Yeah. Hey, Rocky, send us out with the music real quick.
All right, I'll get you there.
Best in me.
So
when everyone else around,
this is what we do down south, Coach.
Only see the
this is what we do.
In me.
So I want to thank everybody. Call that 1-800-FCS-PRAY.
Can I tell y'all
one
more time?
Hey, you know, Mr. Campbell, as we do benediction, Coach, I noticed you left somebody off the prayer line, Coach. I don't know why, Coach. I don't know why you chose to lead this particular group of people off the prayer line. Cause they gonna need it, Coach. Cause they got a big weekend this weekend. Because they may go down in the Bluff and Mumford Stadium, there's somebody coming to town. And it ain't the devil.
On a count of three, if you at home with me.
You know who it is.
2, 3, everybody. Stop.
Now, you know, let me tell you what's funny there. I did have a prayer ready for Southern, but the thing about it wasn't funny enough to tell the joke, so I couldn't do it. It wasn't funny enough to tell the joke. So I did have Southern on, so we will pray silently inside our heads for Southern. So that's what we will do. So because I tell you one thing, if they lose that game, Terrence Gray gonna straighten that hat out. It won't be cocked to the side too much longer. It'll be straightened out.
Yeah, Coach. Like I say, I'm surprised they didn't make the prayer line because that bad man is coming to the Bluff.
I had him on. If you see my prayer list, I had him on there, but I just couldn't tighten it up because we want to be respectful for those folks down there. So yes, sir. Folks go to church. Them folks is they
go and tell the truth. It was too funny.
We want to be respectful on the prayer line. All prayers are respectful.
No, Coach. Hey, thanks, Bishop Campbell, man. I appreciate that. That was a very, very good segment of our show. And again, we'll be doing this every week because if it's one thing we all need, it's prayer.
Yeah. Next week, speaking of quarterbacks, we're gonna have one of the best quarterbacks that ever played the game. HBCU guy, yours truly, Doug Williams, Grambling State University. He'll be our guy next week.
Coach, I can't wait. You know, we had him once on the show last year, man. He was a great interview, told a lot of great stories, has a wealth of knowledge, is a championship coach. And it was funny, Coach, last year, and I'll ask Campbell, were you surprised to hear him say if it was up to him, he would have retired as the coach at Grambling and he never would have left? Is that surprising?
No,
that surprised me.
It did not, because, and Coach can speak about this way better than I can, Doug Williams loved Grambling. And you got to understand, Eddie Robinson was a father figure to that man and put him in the position to be successful. And I think the love that Doug Williams, and every school has those type of players. You see Robert Brazil, down at Jack State, always around. And every school has those type of players because of what the school did for him. So, no, I'm not shocked. And I think he believed he could carry on the legacy of Coach Eddie Robinson. And I think that's really what his main thing was. I can be here, be a stabilizer for, because Grambling is a special place. It is a very special place. And it's also a very hard place to coach, beyond, because they don't have a lot of the things that other schools have, but Grambling has that G and that pride. So I think I'm not shocked by that. I'm not.
Okay. All right, Coach. I'm gonna let you if we don't have anything else, Coach, I'll let you take us out of here and get us ready for hey, Coach, we gonna be back right Tuesday, right? You're not gonna slip any of those coaches in on us next week, are you?
Well, one of our viewers wanted Brian Jenkins, so I've put the word out, and we'll see if we can get him to come on.
Okay, Coach Brian Jenkins from Edward Waters, you're on the clock.
Yeah, that's a Division 1A coaching staff that I hear.
All right. Hey, they got somebody we're real familiar with over there, Coach. Don't they have Coach Dooley? Yeah. They put up some numbers last week, didn't they, Coach? They did something.
45, 17, something like that. Yeah, they put up some numbers.
I don't know. Maybe that Dooley offense just don't work in Baton Rouge. It works everywhere else but Baton Rouge, huh?
Yeah, they beat a conference team, Savannah State.
Wow, Coach. They put it on them.
Yeah, they put up some big numbers.
All right. All right, Coach. It's all you.
Well, I can't say enough about our viewers, 2 million viewers. As you see, we trying to add things to our show. Continue to share, continue to follow, continue to get the hits. Make sure that you support us. And we want to bring things to your locker room live, things that's true about HBCUs. We got a good lineup coming. We got Al Wash coming. We got Stedman Graham and Rudy Johnson just to come in and talk about the HBCU, where it's at and where it's going. We got a lot of things that we want to come in and talk to you, not necessarily just about the game of football or sports, about Black folks in general. Appreciate it. Keep things coming. Like I always say, if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.